go. It is time for another sprint zone. This one's for 9/9/2025, and it's been a couple of weeks, and I'm a little late on that one. My brother was in town, and you can see him there on the right in the OSI kit, and we were doing more stuff that had a higher priority than doing these videos, but here it is at last. It's a nice day, except for the clouds and a little bit of Virga, and maybe that's rain, and you can see in the distance. I love how the kits pop with that dark sky, and there are lots of colorful kits in today's ride. Pretty good group, and life is good here as we head into the sprint zone. Everything's reasonably well organized. It'd be nice if people were a little bit more straightforward, but what can I say? And there we got Marcelo there wearing the Great American Cycle Challenge jersey. It would be cool if people supported him. He's been doing this ride for a bunch of years, and there's a little challenge thing. It's a little website you can go to, and you could donate and use Marcelo's name and sponsor him. It's a great cause for kids' cancer. Heading into the sprint zone, it's still fairly well organized. And I'd like to take this time to thank Ron Kennedy for his video in the upper right. Forgot to label that Ron Cam, my bad. And I'd like to thank my brother for his telemetry, and Curtis McIlvain, first time caller, long time listener as far as submitting his power. And it'll be interesting as he is a player in today's event. Making the corner here. Everyone is waiting for the rules of engagement, and I didn't count, but let's see, there's about 20 riders here. Another good shot of Marcelo, and I am not one to want to be back here because there's such a big group. And you can see a gap has opened up from folks that were behind that were just kind of lagging around the corners. I know it can be a big problem accelerating, but you need to stay on the wheel or be able to bring people back. Nice view of the group, and you can see the bright, high vis, brand spanking new TFR kit that Matt from the Fort Collins Cycling Club is wearing. There goes Greg not wanting to hold the wheel of Steve, and I'm like, dude, if you don't want to hold the wheel, you shouldn't be up there. You should have sagged back a little bit earlier. It's going to make more work for people. But at this point, Steve and I aren't really that much of a threat. But looking at our power, my 32nd, 270, 280, and increasing, yeah, we're doing a little bit of work here. And you can see that everybody else, Curtis, Ron, Paul, their heart rates are lower, and their wattage maybe 100 watts lower. Steve kind of taking it easy, and I think I said something to him about like take it sort of easy on the way to the top, and then maybe hit it a little bit on the backside on that one. See if we can get a little bit of respite here instead of blowing ourselves up, because I am above my FTP, or at least I think so as far as the last time I've tested it, and that was like 203. Looks like someone's trying to bridge, and that might be Fred. A good shot of the Kennedy cam. That's Ron Kennedy. And there is no sense of urgency in the pack. Fred joins our group, and maybe the alarm bell should start to go off if Fred's up there with us. Not certain why they haven't, but there goes Enrique. Enrique's like, okay, I'm going to go catch this one and see what I can do. Now alarm bell should be going off, because if Enrique makes it to the group and he decides to go with us and work with us, that could be danger for everybody else. Perhaps the like of Curtis back there would be able to bring us back, but it would take a concerted effort. Daniel's back there, so it's not too bad. But you can see it's game on. Curtis's instantaneous power over 300. My brother Paul's power instantaneous over 200. And Enrique goes straight by, not looking for any help, wanting to go and using us as a springboard. At this point, I believe I realized that the group was up on us, and I didn't need to do any more work, but needed to sit back in. And there it goes, another going after Enrique, and I don't think Dean is waiting for anybody, and this is going to be hard on the group. And if the group was not so large, it would have been game over for a lot of people. Rick taking his time getting there, and there's a good shot of my brother Paul on my other bike, the blue. and he's enjoying the ease of an aero bike with his Camelback. And coming from sea level, I'm kind of impressed that he's doing so well. I've been able to sag back in and looking at the power. My brother is like 3 something. I'm coming back at 2 something. Curtis is doing some major work somewhere back there. And Ron, it looks like his 30-second power at 156, not doing that much as I try to settle in. There goes Rick up my right side, and there's a good shot of Anna in that bright pink kit. You put that next to the high-vis TFR jersey, and oh man, do you ever need sunglasses. So I'm starting to tuck in here nicely. Heart rate 162. My brother's heart rate's 171, 172, because I believe he decided to go after Enrique. I don't know what got in his bonnet, but he figured he was going to go hard here and perhaps flex a little bit. Looking rearward, Marcelo looking strong. Rick looks like he was struggling a bit. Up front, Ron tucked in nicely with 30-second power, 236. So it's no joke here, as Enrique has in fact been brought back. I should have given a camera to my brother Paul, because I believe he's at second position now. Not certain how long he wants to stay up there, because it's no fun being that close to the pointy end of the stick. Anna looking extremely strong and comfortable sitting on Ron's wheel. Looks like Fred might be coming back a little bit on the outside. I'm not certain why he's coming back. Maybe he didn't want to do any work. As I move up a little bit. Good shot of Anna as she's gotten more serious with that nice aero helmet. Good to see that visor is gone. Yeah, Anna, yeah, that's right. You know I was going to talk about you, but that's okay. Marcelo looking strong there. Daniel, who has been hiding for a while off of Marcelo's left shoulder, looking strong there. So he could be a danger man to watch. Fred sitting in the wind. And everybody is still going pretty strong, but you can see there's a little bit of relaxation as all of our 30-second wattages are down near 100, and mine even below as I begin to coast. Ron looking strong sitting in there, hasn't seen the pointy end of the stick yet, and so far a real selection has not been made yet. And for all the efforts, Dean's little push to the front, Enrique's push to the front, and once again it's going to be game on again. My instantaneous power is going to be close to 500, trying to push up over this little rise. And this is one of those inflection points where you should be able to get rid of people, but there are too many strong men filling in the gap. And when those strong men fill in the gap, it makes it easier for those who don't have that initial snap to be able to maintain contact. And if you don't have that kind of strength, you need to be up near the front. And you can see those that don't have the strength are closely monitoring the front. And there goes Curtis, and you see his power there in the 400s as he goes to the front with Steve in tow. Steve's not going to miss this move, and the pace begins to hot up a little bit. 25 miles an hour as Curtis goes to the front, and I believe that is going to increase. It looks like Jonathan falling back from the Rio squad. Matt wearing the Dayglow high-vis TFR jersey coming up next to me, looking strong here as I ride coattails on the way. Oh, that storm in the rear is kind of pretty with the contrasting high-vis jerseys. I definitely like that. Kept things nice and cool out there and makes for excellent visuals. And there is Susan, and she is a new rider to the group. I believe it was her first TFR. Last name Scanlon on that one, so she is a member of a reputable house, so to speak. Looking forward once again, and perhaps the pace is still up there at 27 miles an hour, and no selection has been made. Dean riding strong on the outside, and I'm thankful for the little bit of shelter he has given me as there is a slight wind coming off of our right shoulder. My brother still in tow. Ron still in tow. Curtis at 30-second power, over 450, instantaneous, over 560 for a second there. That is some major wattage there as he is trying to create a selection, and it looks like it might happen as the elastic is beginning to snap for those who were barely hanging on. Curtis still at the front, pushing good wattage, 27 miles per hour. No one wants to take over from that. Well, not that they don't want to, is that they really can't. And when the big man is doing the work, there's no reason to go around. Speed has dropped by a mile per hour, and let's see who wants to take up the mantle. Jason looking fairly strong next to me. Dean riding out in the wind. Enrique looking strong up there. Ron sitting in comfortably. Anna and Mark sitting in there nicely. And there goes Susan Scanlon, a strong rider from the SOAR, making her appearance here in the selection. There's my brother. It looks like he's working pretty hard back there in that OSI kit, one of my older kits. Yeah, and he's out in the wind there, but you can see by the looks on his face that this is no picnic. Susan looking extremely comfortable. I don't know what her pedigree is, but she is extremely strong and comfortable in the peloton. Mark looking strong, riding Anna's wheel, and I know things are about to hot up about now. And there's a push and there's acceleration where it looks like Fred unable to go with the snap, Ron letting the gap open up for some reason, and now I need to go and see if I can close this down. Good shot of Mark there, good shot of Anna there. Marcelo comes with me. And there goes Fred, falling back, perhaps too much work out there. Ron unable to close the gap, and it's my turn to go around. It looks like Daniel gave his final push there, and Ron tries to hold me off, but it is too little too late. And there's a shot of me in the upper right, besting for I believe, third place on this one, which was pretty good. My 30-second power was up there well into the mid 300s, so I was happy about that. And a good time was had by all. People coming up finally. Good work there. There's Mark in the nice TOFR kit. Very handsome kit there. I gotta say that Jacob Robinson did a sweet job of managing that whole thing. Very, very, very impressive with that effort and how the jerseys turned out. And everybody's pretty happy. Good shot of me in the upper right wearing the yellow high vis. In the main screen, it looks like Anna and Susan coming through there. And we will give the Women's Cup to Anna, as I believe. Yeah, she may have bested Susan. Need a few more women to make that viable, but it is good to see strong men and women making the cut there until the final push by the big men, the heads of state. Whew. Well done, everybody. Well done. That was fun. Oh, and there's the little congratulations. It's like Steve and Enrique there, little fist bump. That's nice to see the cooperation. That was fun, everybody. And until next time, peace out.